Welcome to Intelligence Gateway.
Protecting Wireless Networks Lecture 17.2. Describe the different precautions that can be taken to secure a wireless network from authorized access. To secure a wireless network from unauthorized access, you can take the following precautions: strong passwords, set a strong and unique password for your wireless router and change it regularly. Avoid using default passwords as they are easily accessible online. Network encryption. Enable WPA2 or WPA3 encryption on your wireless router to encrypt data transmitted over the network. This prevents eavesdropping and unauthorized access to your data. Firmware updates. Regularly update your router's firmware to ensure it has the latest security patches and improvements. Firewall. Activate the router's built-in firewall to filter incoming and outgoing traffic, protecting your network from potential threats. Strong passwords. Benefits. Prevents unauthorized users from easily accessing the network, enhancing overall security. Drawbacks. Difficult to remember complex passwords, and if not managed properly, users might resort to writing them down, making them vulnerable. Network encryption. Benefits. Encrypts data transmitted over the network, protecting it from eavesdropping and unauthorized access. Drawbacks. Some older devices might not support the latest encryption standards, limiting their compatibility with the network. Firmware updates. Benefits. Keeps the router up to date with the latest security patches and improvements, closing known vulnerabilities. Drawbacks. In rare cases, updates might introduce new bugs or issues that can affect network performance. Discuss why security should be considered when designing a network. Security should be a top priority when designing a network due to the following reasons: protection from threats. Networks are vulnerable to various threats, like unauthorized access, data breaches, malware, and cyber attacks. Implementing security measures ensures that sensitive information and resources are protected from potential harm. Data confidentiality. Networks often handle sensitive data, such as personal information, financial records, and proprietary business data. Ensuring security safeguards the confidentiality of this data, preventing unauthorized access and data leaks. Data integrity. Security measures help maintain data integrity, ensuring that information remains accurate and unaltered during transmission and storage. Specification coverage. Precautions that can be taken to protect a wireless local area network WLAN from unauthorized access, including MAC address filtering and hiding the service set identifier SSID. Wireless encryption. Wired equivalent privacy WEP. Wi-Fi protected access to WPA2 and Wi-Fi protected setup WPS. Mitigating known wireless vulnerabilities. Consideration of security issues during network and system design to ensure security is built in from the development stage. To protect a wireless local area network WLAN from unauthorized access, the following precautions can be taken. MAC address filtering. Enable MAC address filtering on the wireless router to allow only approved devices with registered MAC addresses to connect to the network. This prevents devices from accessing the WLAN. Hiding the SSID. Disable SSID broadcasting on the wireless router, making the network name invisible to casual users. While this won't stop determined attackers, it adds an extra layer of obscurity. Wireless encryption. Implement strong wireless encryption protocol, such as WPA2 or better yet, WPA3, to encrypt data transmitted over the network. This protects against eavesdropping and unauthorized access. Avoid using WEP. Avoid using wired equivalent privacy. WEP, as it has known vulnerabilities and is no longer considered secure. Opt for stronger encryption, like WPA2 or WPA3 instead. Wi-Fi protected setup WPS. Disable WPS as it can be susceptible to brute force attacks. Instead, manually unearth wireless network password during setup. Introductory task. Do you allow your phone to automatically connect to different wireless networks, including open wireless networks? If so, which ones? Have you ever wondered if the wireless networks are secure? Yes. My phone is set to automatically connect to different wireless networks, including open wireless networks. Open networks are those that don't require a password or any form of authentication to connect. It makes it convenient to access the internet when I'm in public places, like coffee shops, airports, or shopping malls. However, I do wonder about the security of these open wireless networks. Since they don't have encryption or authentication, they could potentially be more vulnerable to unauthorized access and attacks. To mitigate this risk, I try to be cautious while using open networks and avoid accessing sensitive information or making financial transactions on them. When possible, I prefer using known secure networks or using a virtual private network (VPN) to encrypt my internet traffic and enhance security. Deeper learning activities. Describe why wireless networks are vulnerable to unauthorized access. Wireless networks are vulnerable to unauthorized access due to several reasons. Lack of physical boundaries. Unlike wired networks, wireless networks transmit data over the air, making it easier for potential attackers to intercept and access the data without being physically connected to the network. Broadcast nature. Wireless signals are broadcasted in all directions, which means they can be picked up by any device within range. Attackers can use tools to capture and analyze these signals to gather information about the network. Inherent security flaws. Some older wireless security protocols, such as WEP wired equivalent privacy, have known vulnerabilities, making them relatively easy to crack and bypass. Shared authentication. Wireless networks often use a common password pre-shared key for all users. If this key is compromised, attackers gain access to the entire network. Research and describe the different precautions that can be used to secure a wireless network and explain the benefits and drawbacks of each. MAC address filtering. Benefits. Provides an additional layer of access control, restricting network access to specific devices only. Can boastful for preventing unauthorized devices from connecting. Drawbacks. MAC addresses can be easily spoofed or changed by attackers, rendering this method less effective against determined intruders. Wired equivalent privacy. WEP benefits. Offer some level of encryption, making it harder for casual eavesdroppers to access network data. May still be supported by older devices. Drawbacks. WEP is highly insecure and easily cracked using readily available tools. It provides inadequate interpretation and should not be used, as its security flaws have been well documented. Wi-Fi protected access to WPA2 benefits. Provides strong data encryption, making it difficult for attackers to intercept and decipher. Or WPA4 are those devices. Wi-Fi protected setup. WPS benefits. It makes the initial setup of a network easier for users with little technical knowledge. The simplified setup process can save time and effort. Drawbacks. WPS is vulnerable to brute force attacks, where an attacker attempts to guess the PIN. This weakness can lead to unauthorized access to the network. Discuss why the security of a network should be considered when a network is being designed, rather than waiting until the network is actually set up. Considering network security during the network design phase is essential for the following reasons. Proactive approach. Addressing security concerns during the design stage allows for a proactive approach to identify potential vulnerabilities and threats. It enables the implementation of security measures from the outset, reducing the risk of security breaches in the future. Cost effectiveness. Implementing security measures during the design phase is generally more cost-effective compared to retrofitting security after the network has been set up. Fixing security issues post-implementation can be time-consuming and expensive. Integration with architecture. Considering security during Design allows security features to be seamlessly integrated into the network architecture. This ensures a cohesive and robust security framework that complements the overall design. Access controls. Describe what is meant by the term access control. Access control is a security mechanism that regulates and manages user permissions and privileges to access specific resources, data, or services within a system, network, or physical environment. It ensures that unauthorized users can access the appropriate resources, protecting sensitive information and preventing unauthorized access or misuse. Access controls. Describe what is meant by the term access control. Explain why an organization may want to restrict access to the following areas. Applications. Restrict access to applications to prevent unauthorized users from manipulating sensitive data or making unauthorized changes. Protects critical software from potential misuse. Malware or unauthorized modifications ensures that only authorized personnel can use specific application, maintaining data integrity and system stability. Folders and files. Restricting access to folders and files prevents unauthorized users from viewing, modifying, or deleting sensitive information. Safeguards confidential data, intellectual property, and other critical resources from unauthorized access or data breaches. Progress check.
Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.